بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. So we have got a sheet from last week, last time we to remember easily. So if you keep it on the table when you're reading it, the Quran, so every time you see either a nun sakin, a nun with a sakin, or duyu zabor, duyu zer duyu pesh, two zabor, two zer two pesh, then you can stop and ponder upon. If you do about a few words or few letters, it will be easier to remember. So whenever we say nun sakin or tanween, then you have to see either it is izhar or that will going to be ikhfa or idgham al gunna or idgham bila gunna or iqlab. So if it is one of the 6 letters hamza, ha, ha, ain, ghain, we know it is izhar to read it clearly. If you see a nun sakin, then we see one of the 15 letters of ikhfa, ta, tha, jim, dal, dal, za, sin, shin, sad, da, ta, za, fa, qaf, kaf. Then we need to say it's ikhfa and we need to make gunna. We need to make gunna. If you see a nun sakin and one of the 4 letters followed by it, ya, mim, nun, waw, we know it is idgham ma'al gunna. So we need to merge and make gunna. If we see a nun sakin or tanween and one of the 2 letters of ra and lam, then it's the idgham bila gunna, we merge without gunna. And if we find a nun sakin or tanween and letter ba after it, we need to change it and make it iqlab. We don't change the nun sakin tanween. We got the left here. So it is ba. Iqlab. So we went through it, all the definition many times. So what we can't remember is the letters and the rules. So if you keep them in front, maybe inshallah a few times if you practice, it will be easier to remember. And then we found mim sakin. So if whenever you see a mim with a sakin, a mim sakin, one of the 3 conditions, 3 rules, either izhar shafawi or ikhfa shafawi or idgham mithlain saghir. So izhar is any letter other than ba and mim. So after a mim sakin, if any letter comes other than ba and mim, you read it clearly. Alam tara, alam nashrah laka, am ja'alu, tam tarun. All this letter has a mim, a sakin, followed by any other letter other than ba and mim. If it is ba, then it's ikhfa shafawi, and we make gunna. Example, hum bil akhirah. So when you say hum, mim sakin, followed by a ba, we say hum bil akhirah. Hum bil akhirah. Wa ma hum bi mu'minin. And we have got idgham mithlain saghir. Idgham mithlain saghir. If mim comes after mim sakin, it is idgham mithlain saghir. Mim comes after mim sakin, idgham mithlain saghir. So these are the 8 rules that we use every day. In almost every single line you'll find one of these 8 rules. So it's very important to remember, inshallah. So the new lesson we will do today is very brief and small and easy to remember, inshallah. So in the Quran, if you remember, that sometimes when you read the Quran, you see sometimes sin and sad together. So in one letter, one zabor or one pesh, and sin and sad are together. Maybe sin is on top, sad is underneath, or sad is like this. So we sometimes get confused. It is sin or sad. Which one should we read? So we have got 4 words in the Quran with these rules. Number 1, in Surah Baqarah, ayat number 245, a word has come, yab soto. Yab soto. Now it's written with sad, but on top of this a small sin will be written. On top of the sad, a small sin will be written. You will see in the Quran. So what do we do? That for this word, we change this sad into sin. So we don't say sad, we read it as sin. So we say yab wa yab soto wa yab soto, sin perso ta perto. We don't say soto, not sad, we say it as sin. Then in Surah A'raf, the word is basta. It is written with sad and you can see, will see if you open the Quran, it's a small sin written on top of that. So we change this Sad into sin. So these are the two words in the Quran. Yabsutu in Surah Baqarah and Basta in Surah A'raf. Both words will be read as sin, with sin and not with Sad. Then in Surah Tur, ayat number 37, there is a word called Musaytirun. Are you trying to find out the words? Have you found it?
No, because I can't be able to.
Have you checked? Have you seen it in the Quran?
Can't remember.
Can't remember. So it will be written like this. I got this full picture from the Quran. So it's usually it's written like this. Sin, Sad together.
So basically we follow the top one, sin.
No, not always.
For the first two one.
For the first two words in Surah Baqarah, Yabsutu, and Surah A'raf, Basta, for this two we read sin. Next one in Surah Tur, Musaytirun. Musaytirun in Surah Tur, ayat number 37. This one you can read with sin or Sad, both are allowed. So it's up to you whether you choose sin, Musaytirun, or if you choose Sad, Musaytirun, both
Why
are allowed.
they put the first place in there? So why can't you make it just put the Sadhu scene? So
because the Quran is the words of Allah. Even how the Quran will be written, it is also decided by Allah. However, Jibreel ﷺ told the Prophet ﷺ, from that revelation, he told the companions how to read the words, and they will be writing like this. For example, we've got some silent letter in Arabic. Sometimes you see that there are many letters that we don't use it at all, isn't it? In the Quran, you see like ulaika. When you write ulaika, it's alif waw pish u, then lam karazullah ulaika. We don't read this waw. Why? Because this waw is an extra letter. So it is also put in the Quran. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wished, because it's the speciality of the Quran. If I ask you, spell knife for me. Do you understand? So knife, K-N-I-F, K-N-I-F-E, knife. So if I ask you, why don't you just remove K? You can't do that, because this is the rule of the language, isn't it? So, we know that K is there, but we don't pronounce the K. Isn't it? Yeah. So similarly, and this is Quran, So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it, put it in the Quran like this. Now we follow the imam, the scholars. Now which one should be read which way? Yes. So Musaytirun in Surah Tur can be read with sin or Sad. Sin or Sad. Then the last one in Surah Ghashiyah, ayat number 22. Surah Ghashiyah, ayat number 22 in Juz 30. Be Musaytir. This one will only be read as Sad. This one will be read as Sad. So first two will be read with sin. Third one will be read with sin or Sad, up to you. And the last one, the Musaytir, will be read with Sad only.
What number surah is Surah Tur?
Surah Tur, check. If you check that thing, contents page, you will find it. Surah Tur. Surah Tur is surah number 52. 52, ayat number 37. Musaytirun. So how do you remember them? You just memorize these 4 words and remember the rule. So Yamsutu in Surah Baqarah with sin, Basta in Surah A'raf, ayat number 62, again with sin. Third one, Musaytirun in Surah Tur with either sin or Sad. And last one in Surah Ghashiyah, be Musaytir with Sad. Sometimes in the Quran, they put the ruling on the side. If it is, usually they put in Arabic. So sometimes they will put in English or other languages for people to understand that rule. alhamdulillah, we covered many of aspects from the tajweed. We didn't do the sifat yet. So sifat is a bit harder. I'm not going there yet. Inshallah. A sifat is called the characteristics of the letters. So sometimes you say this letter should be heavy, this letter should be light, this letter when you pronounce it you should not stop your breath, this letter to pronounce you should stop your breath, this one should stop your sound, this one should not stop your sound. These are the characteristics are from the sifat. They are called sifat. Or we just mentioned safir, the za, sin, sad. When you pronounce it very strong sounds called safir. You mentioned qalqala, 5 letters. They are bound, they will be bounced when they are sakin. So these are the characteristics of these 5 letters, qalqala. So inshallah we'll study it. Before that, maybe inshallah next week we'll do the Fawatih as-Suwar. Fawatih as-Suwar is the beginners, openers of the surahs. So you see in some surah in the Quran starts with like Alif Lam Mim or Yasin or Taha or Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad. Separate letters, isn't it? When you say Alif Lam Mim, it's written look like Alam, isn't it? Or we don't say Alam, we say Alif Lam Mim separately. Similarly, Yasin is written Yasin Zur Yas, but we don't say Yas, we say Yasin. So these are the what's known as Fawatih as-Suwar, or the openers of the surahs. Inshallah we'll go through them next week, and then also we can revise once more all the rules we learned, inshallah. So let's practice this one again. So the letter Sad will be read as seen in the word Yabsutu in Surah Baqarah. Instead of Sad, it will be read as seen. Surah Baqarah, Yabsutu, Yabsutu. If you can memorize the word Yabsutu, 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 Yabsutu. In Surah Baqarah, let me find out the ayat. Wallahu yaqbidu wa yabsutu wa ilayhi turja'un. So this is the ayat, Surah Baqarah 245. Wallahu yaqbidu wa yabsutu wa ilayhi turja'un. So this one will not read as Sad, will be reading as Sin, Yabsutu. Yabsutu in Surah Baqarah, ayat number 245. Then Basta in Surah A'raf, ayat number 69. Basta, Basta, Basta. So Sin. Then Musaytirun in Surah Tur, ayat number 37. You can read with Sin or Sad, whatever you want to choose. So I think it will be easier if you read with Sad, because the following letter is Ta. Both are big letters in it. Musaytirun, Musaytirun, Musaytirun. Then the Musaytir, it will be read with Sad only. So be Musaytir in Surah Ghashiyah. Be Musaytir. Lasta alayhim be Musaytir. Lasta alayhim be Musaytir. Lasta alayhim be Musaytir.